Ladies and gentlemen, Asian Guy here, and today we're going to explore the fascinating science behind copper's antimicrobial and pest deterrent properties. Instead of conspiracy theories, we'll examine the real research about how certain metals can help with outdoor pest management, and why understanding these properties can improve your camping and outdoor experiences safely. This is educational content about legitimate pest control methods based on actual scientific research and practical outdoor safety principles. Let me start with the established science that most people don't know about copper's unique properties and how they can be applied practically for outdoor activities. Copper has well-documented antimicrobial properties that have been studied extensively in peer-reviewed research. The oligodynamic effect describes how small amounts of certain metals, particularly copper and silver, can kill bacteria, viruses, and some parasites through ionic reactions. This isn't New Age pseudoscience. It's established chemistry that's been used in water treatment, hospital surfaces, and agricultural applications for decades. Understanding these properties helps explain why some traditional pest control methods that incorporate copper show effectiveness. The EPA has registered copper as an antimicrobial pesticide, recognizing its ability to kill algae, bacteria, and fungi in water systems. This registration is based on extensive testing and safety evaluation, not marketing claims or historical anecdotes. Now let's examine the legitimate applications of copper in outdoor pest management and water treatment. Copper sulfate has been used for decades in water treatment to control algae and mosquito larvae in standing water. This is a proven application with documented effectiveness rates and established safety protocols. The mechanism works through copper ions disrupting cellular processes in microorganisms and insect larvae. When copper dissolves in water at very low concentrations, it becomes toxic to mosquito larvae, while remaining below levels that affect human health. Pool and pond maintenance routinely uses copper-based algicides for this purpose. The key is proper dosing. Too little is ineffective, while too much can cause environmental problems or health concerns. For outdoor applications, copper strips or mesh can be placed in water containers or rain collection systems to reduce mosquito breeding. This is a legitimate technique used by water management professionals. The practical applications for camping and outdoor activities require understanding both effectiveness and limitations. Copper pennies, or strips, placed in water bottles or containers can help reduce bacterial growth during extended camping trips. This is particularly useful for emergency water storage, where chemical treatments aren't available. The antimicrobial effect works slowly, typically requiring hours to days for significant bacterial reduction. This isn't instant water purification, but rather a method for maintaining water quality over time. Copper mesh around camp kitchens or food storage areas may help deter some pests, though the effectiveness varies significantly depending on the specific insects and environmental conditions. The key limitation is that copper's antimicrobial effects work primarily in direct contact applications, not as an area-wide repellent system. Claims about electromagnetic or atmospheric effects lack scientific validation. Let's examine what the research actually shows about copper and insect control. Laboratory studies demonstrate that copper surfaces kill bacteria and viruses through direct contact. This effect has been measured and quantified under controlled conditions. Field studies show that copper-treated water sources can significantly reduce mosquito larvae populations. The University of California and other institutions have published research confirming this application. Agricultural research demonstrates that copper compounds can deter certain soil-dwelling pests and plant pathogens. However, these effects typically require direct application to affected areas. What research doesn't support is the idea that buried copper creates electromagnetic fields that repel flying insects at distance. While interesting historically, such claims lack modern scientific validation. The safety considerations for using copper in outdoor applications are important for responsible implementation. Copper is generally safe for human contact and consumption at low levels. In fact, copper is an essential nutrient that our bodies require in small amounts for proper function. The EPA sets maximum copper levels for drinking water at 1.3 parts per million. Properly applied copper pest control methods typically operate well below these limits. Environmental considerations include avoiding copper accumulation in soil or water systems where it could affect non-target organisms. Proper dosing and placement prevent environmental problems. Skin contact with copper compounds can cause irritation in sensitive individuals. Basic precautions like wearing gloves during application prevent most contact issues. Here are legitimate, science-based methods for using copper in outdoor pest management. For mosquito larvae control in standing water, copper strips or mesh can be suspended in rain barrels, bird baths, or temporary water collections. Replace or clean the copper periodically to maintain effectiveness. For water storage antimicrobial effects, clean copper pennies, pre-1982 pennies are nearly pure copper, or copper strips can be added to long-term water storage containers. This supplements, but doesn't replace, proper water treatment. For camp kitchen pest deterrents, copper mesh can be used around food storage areas as a physical barrier that also provides some antimicrobial benefits. This works through contact deterrence rather than area-wide effects. For garden or agricultural applications, copper-based fungicides and bactericides are commercially available with EPA registration and clear application instructions. These products provide reliable effectiveness with known safety profiles. The traditional methods that inspired some modern applications deserve understanding within their proper historical context. Traditional copper and brass vessels were used for water storage partly because of observed antimicrobial effects. These observations were accurate, even though the mechanisms weren't understood scientifically. Historical agricultural practices sometimes incorporated copper compounds for plant protection. While effective for specific applications, these methods often had environmental costs that modern regulations address. Traditional building materials sometimes included copper elements that provided antimicrobial benefits. Modern research has validated some of these traditional applications while improving safety and effectiveness. The key insight is that traditional methods often worked for legitimate scientific reasons, but modern applications should be based on current research rather than historical anecdotes alone. The integration with other pest control methods provides the most effective outdoor protection strategies. Copper-based methods work best as part of comprehensive pest management rather than standalone solutions. Physical barriers, proper sanitation, and appropriate repellents provide multiple layers of protection. For mosquito control, eliminating standing water remains more effective than treating it. Copper methods are most useful for water that can't be eliminated but needs treatment to prevent breeding. Personal protection through clothing, repellents, and camping practices remains essential regardless of any environmental modifications. Copper applications supplement rather than replace personal protective measures. Understanding the science helps distinguish between legitimate applications and exaggerated claims, allowing for informed decisions about outdoor pest management strategies. The economic considerations help evaluate copper methods against commercial alternatives. Initial costs for copper materials are typically higher than disposable repellents, but copper applications can provide longer-term value through reusability and durability. Effectiveness comparisons should consider the specific application. Copper works well for water treatment and contact applications, but doesn't replace area-wide repellent systems for comprehensive protection. Maintenance requirements include periodic cleaning and replacement of copper materials to maintain effectiveness. Oxidized copper loses some antimicrobial properties over time. Environmental impact is generally lower than chemical alternatives when properly applied, making copper methods attractive for environmentally conscious outdoor enthusiasts. The research and development in copper applications continues to advance understanding of optimal applications and limitations. Recent studies explore nanoparticle copper applications that could improve effectiveness while reducing environmental impact. These developments may expand legitimate applications in the future. Combination approaches using copper with other natural pest control methods show promise for integrated outdoor management strategies. Understanding resistance development helps explain why copper methods maintain effectiveness over time, compared to some chemical alternatives that lose potency through pest adaptation. The measurement and monitoring of copper-based pest control effectiveness helps evaluate performance and optimize applications. Simple water testing kits can measure copper levels to ensure proper dosing. Visual inspection determines when cleaning is needed, as green patina reduces effectiveness. Seasonal considerations affect applications. Spring requires cleaning accumulated debris, summer needs more frequent maintenance due to organic matter, fall involves proper storage preparation, and winter requires protecting materials from freeze damage. Troubleshooting common issues optimizes copper applications. Reduced effectiveness often results from oxidized surfaces needing cleaning. Water chemistry affects ion release, container compatibility matters, and environmental factors like temperature and pH influence performance. This is Asian Guy, and understanding real science behind copper's antimicrobial properties helps you make informed decisions about outdoor pest management without falling for exaggerated claims or unsafe applications. Focus on proven applications with established safety profiles while maintaining realistic expectations about effectiveness and limitations. Copper-based methods can be valuable tools in comprehensive outdoor pest management when used appropriately and safely.